We have all heard the term. We have all used the term. But what does it exactly mean? Who is this big bad patriarchy we all have been talking about? Let's take a look. What is patriarchy? In simple terms, patriarchy could be defined as a social system that upholds the idea that men are superior to women. Male dominance over women's social, political, and economic life and decision making is central to a patriarchal society. Often, the male dominance, be it political, social, or economic, is maintained through patriarchal oppression and violence, which harms not just women but also everyone who doesn't fit the definition of what could be described as a cis heterosexual man. So, not just male dominance, but it is the idea that cis heterosexual men are superior to all other gender identities and sexual orientations. This is often specifically referred to as the cis heteropatriarchy. In a patriarchal society, the social, economic, and political rights of all marginalized gender identities and sexual orientations are governed by a system that truly believes that any sign of femininity, non-masculinity, or non-conformity to traditional binary and rigid gender roles is inferior. And patriarchy is systemic too. It can manifest itself through various social, cultural, political, and religious structures as well. For example, property and titles are mostly inherited by male members of the family. Most religious texts reflect sexist ideals and beliefs. The representation of women and LGBTQIA+ people in leadership positions remains extremely poor. What is internalized patriarchy? While feminists have always fought the patriarchy, be it at home or the workplace, living in such a powerfully oppressive system can often lead to the very people who are oppressed by the patriarchy internalizing patriarchal beliefs and ideas themselves. The idea that women are bad drivers, or that any hint of femininity is inherently weak, or that a son is more important and valuable than a daughter, are all just examples of how we as a society, even while trying to fight the oppressive structures within which we exist, can end up internalizing the harmful ideas and beliefs they uphold. Patriarchy hurts men too. If there's any good time to ask what about men, it is now. Even though patriarchy as a system upholds and reinforces male dominance, it ends up hurting them just as much. Men are expected to be breadwinners, not allowed to show even a hint of vulnerability, and perpetuate practices that allow toxic masculinity to fester. Higher rate of male suicide, stigma, and shame doled out to male survivors of sexual violence, or the rampant homophobia and transphobia faced by LGBTQIA+ men by their cis-het male counterparts are just some examples that show how damaging the effects of patriarchy can be on men as well. When Bell Hooks had said that patriarchy has no gender, the author was right in pointing out that the fight against patriarchy is for everyone. Smashing the patriarchy means smashing all oppressive structures for people of all gender identities. Hence, it becomes more and more important to not just challenge the patriarchy, but also understand how it manifests itself in other oppressive structures such as white supremacy, capitalism, homophobia, transphobia, casteism, and so on. So keep watching and keep smashing the patriarchy.